Guys, welcome back. Here we are, and we have a very special person seated to my left.
Yes, we have another guest today. We know you guys have been loving the guests on our podcast. So today we have Jevon Brown as our guest. Jevon is a professional athlete, talented musician, talented human being in general. So he's got lots to share. So we are excited to hear a little from you today.
Yes.
And get to know you a little better.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Jack of all trades. You do everything.
I try my best. Yeah.
I get the feeling that you're one of those people that is just known for being good at whatever you do.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah,
I think
don't
it's
know.
sometimes if you perform at like a high level in general, it just, everything you touch is like that. Everything you
Just
touch
trickles
is just
down.
like,
I feel like it's more of a confidence boost. Because like, you know how like the pressure is at during most games, it's like you're expected, like a lot is expected of you.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever you do, it's like you hold yourself to a high standard no matter what.
yeah.
Even if you're not even good at it, it's just,
Yeah.
Fake it till you make
I
it.
can figure it out. You
Yeah.
know?
Totally.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think I just use that and carry it.
Which
Yeah.
makes you a professional.
Yes.
Which makes him good at what he does.
Totally. So I first met you through, my son went to a basketball training camp and he was just new to basketball and he came home, came in the car and was just like, guess what? I got a trainer. I can have him reach out to you. I was like, what?
You're like, wait, what's happening here?
What do you mean? So he was super excited to meet you right away, was just very, like, had glowing things to say about you. So we kind of started, you did some one-on-one training with him and now it's just like everyday. I feel like you guys are very similar in personality in some ways. Like my son's very intense with everything he does and not...
Wait, are you calling him intense?
Yes, I
He
am,
looks like
actually.
the least intense person I've ever met.
No.
You caught me in a good moment. You caught me at a good moment.
It is like, yeah. So, and I feel like people probably that kind of intense personality is maybe a smaller portion of the population. So when you meet another intense person, you guys just kind of click and like get each other.
I agree with that actually.
Yeah.
That's actually a thing. Like teammates, like you tend to like go towards and be closer with people that are more intense because you know how they can handle certain situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like other people you are cool with, you know, like it's more of a friendship where you talk sometimes and then it's I don't know where I'm trying to go with this, but I just know that when you're more intense, it's like we click more.
Yeah.
And it's comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not stepping on eggshells every time I say something. So.
Yeah, you get each other. And do you find, I've just noticed this with my sons, I'd be interested in what you think of this, but I've noticed too that sometimes when you're intense and passionate about something, when people aren't, it's frustrating. Like I find sometimes I can see him get easily frustrated in relationships and friendships, and I'm always trying to explain to him, it's just, you know, it's
calm
not
down.
as much to them. I know you're really about this, but they don't really care. And he's like, that's ridiculous. And they're always trying to like temper his, like, but so when you find somebody that will go as intense as you, I think it's probably exciting, right?
Yeah, it's just like, you feel more balanced. You feel more balanced because like, ultimately it's just about care. You know, like people say we're intense and all, it's just like a lot, but at the same time, you just care more or just care a lot, and some people just really don't care as much, and whatever they do, it's more lukewarm, or it's like they half do it kind of thing, or they half, oh yeah, sure, we can do that, but I really don't care. What do you mean you don't care?
Right.
We're doing it, we're in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just like,
Yeah.
like it affects me that you don't care as much as me.
Right.
It's
like,
I think that's what it is.
give it your all or go home.
Yeah,
That's what it
like
is.
0 or 100.
Yeah,
you know.
that's
So
right. But I do feel like that not everybody operates like that.
no.
Yeah.
No.
I was going to say, I was just watching on Netflix, the Kate Hudson basketball
Yes.
series. What's it called? It's brand new.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just came out.
The name,
but some of the teammates were actually talking about this on the show.
Okay,
About
really?
like the intensity of basketball and how some of the teammates were getting frustrated with the other teammates because they weren't like as in it. And
Locked
there's this
in.
one character and he just portrays that and he's like, I want you to love the game as much as I love the game because we're teammates. And if I feel like you're not loving the game,
you can leave.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. It's
Yeah.
all about
Wow.
culture.
Yeah.
okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. So
I know nothing about basketball. I just learned everything from Kate Hudson on Netflix.
You're like,
I know.
Taking notes.
Exactly. Well, I've had to have like a crash course because I also knew nothing about basketball because my son started last year, and because he's so intense, I'm trying to keep up and just have a conversation with him. So I'm having to watch all these videos, and I get really excited now if I know like there's been an NBA trade or something, and and I'm like, I'm like, of course, everybody knows that.
It's regular.
I know nothing about basketball. My son's very much into baseball.
Okay.
So like we went to opening day at the Jays. Like baseball, I can do.
Yeah.
I know it. Basketball. Like do you throw the ball into the net and you shoot, you score? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna learn a lot today.
Yeah.
Teach me all your ways. I'm gonna go home and be like, I can news anchor for the Jets.
Yeah.
Are the Jets even?
The Jets.
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Is that a basketball?
Football.
Okay.
The Jets.
He doesn't know.
The
The Raptors.
There you
Raptors.
go. There you go.
Okay. Go Raptors. Go Raptors.
Yeah.
Okay, Leah's just here for the fun.
It's
She has no idea about anything.
No
She's
idea.
here. She's here for the vibes. She's here for the vibes.
It's true.
So what was like little Jevon like? So where did you grow up? What's your family like?
Okay.
Where are you in the birth order? All those fun things.
Okay, well that's very interesting because I moved around a lot in Toronto. There was like places we moved that I don't even remember, but I just know like we moved like about maybe 4, 5, 6 times.
Wow.
And it was more closer to like Jane Street. Mm-hmm. So it was like kind of on the Jane. I don't know if you know Toronto like that, where there's Keele, Jane, you know what I mean? So we're more in like North York. So growing up was fun when we had to make it fun. You know what I mean? So it wasn't always the greatest situation, but we learned how to make peace in that situation. So growing up, I was the youngest. I have a brother 2 years older than me, or a year and a couple months older than me. I have another brother that's 5 years older than me.
Wow.
And then I have another brother. He's like 40 right now. And then I have another brother that's 43. And I have a sister. She's 45. I don't know.
And how old are you?
26.
26.
So there's a big age gap.
Yeah.
So you were the age you are now.
Yeah.
Some of your siblings were when you were born.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah. So.
And the thing is, the math that's not mathing to me is I've seen your mom.
Yeah.
Did she have a child when she was 10? Like,
No,
she
my
looks
mom.
so. Your mom doesn't even look like she's 45.
So for my mom, there's 3 of us.
Okay.
And on my dad's side, there's another 3.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Okay.
Because your mom looks so young.
Yeah, she does okay. I send her videos on Instagram, those reels about like just youthfulness, and she's like, I've already seen that. This is what I do.
She plays
You're
my
late.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. She's on. She sends me memes, basketball memes. Has nothing to do with basketball. I tear up.
Yeah.
So it's funny. She tries to be in
That
the loop as
counts.
well.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm her son and I like basketball. So
Yeah.
So she tries.
she tries. Yeah.
But does she at least know who the Raptors are?
She knows who the Raptors are. Yeah.
Okay, she's one step ahead of
She's
me.
one step ahead of you.
She's really intense when like basketball games come on and stuff like that. She just no shoot like she thinks like doing this at home is gonna stop somebody from missing a free throw.
Oh my gosh, that would be me for sure.
She's like heckling them from the couch.
Yeah. She's like, I can't watch this anymore. I can't. She'll leave. She'll come back, look at the screen, and like, because she knows who I want to win.
Right.
And then she's just all for it.
Cheer for you.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good mom.
That is.
Aw. So was your mom a single mom then when she raised you for your whole life? Part of it, like, do you remember? Did you ever live with both parents at the same time?
No, I just remember my dad coming sometimes. He'll stop in, like, hey, you guys good? You guys good? And then it's like, I don't know, it wasn't always the best situation in regards to just like the tension.
Yeah.
As a kid, I just knew there was something always wrong or off, but I guess coping with it was just continuing on, you know, everything's fine, or even if it's not fine, just not really show anger or anything like that, because that's not going to really solve anything. So me and my brothers just stayed busy.
Yeah.
Either outside playing ball hockey with like neighbors, like, or throwing the ball around, and just staying busy, like I said. So whenever they would come over, or he would come over, they would talk. It would be too great, and then he would leave, come back maybe 2 weeks later, leave maybe a month later, leave.
This is really inconsistent.
Yeah, it wasn't as like close as I would want, as I wanted, but like as a kid, I just knew like you can't control everything. Like if I knew that from as a kid, like
Right.
you can't control everything, so you just gotta keep on going, and you can't try to use that same like hurt and stuff like that in wherever you go. So if I were to go to school, I can't use that same like I'm bothered about that and then be in a conversation and then like bleed on that other person. Like, you know, it's not their problem, it's not their issue. So I learned from.
And you remember having these thoughts even as a kid.
Yeah.
Like it was just in you.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't really want to go to school today, but I have a gym.
Yeah.
I can shoot the ball a little bit. I can run around and, you know, play football or handball or whatever we played.
Yeah.
So I just knew that. And then coming home, it's like, all right, it's time to watch some WWE. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just locked in on whatever the event was next, whatever was going to happen. So.
But that's crazy to have that sort of self-awareness
Totally.
as a kid, because there are lots of kids that go through like hard situations like divorce or whatever that act out in anger.
Yeah.
So that's a blessing that you had that.
It's God.
Yeah.
It's really God. I just remember we had to go to church. So we went to church all the time. And then like some kids, I would look around and like they'll be sleeping. They'll be playing with their shoe, like trying to fix their shirt. Like it's too tight.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm like, listen to the message. Like we're here for a reason. Like we're all tired. We're all tired.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so it's not an excuse. So I'm just here as a kid, like just watching. My brother would be making jokes. So I'm like, I can't, like, I'm a person that like, if you do something funny, like I can't not laugh. So I'm trying to lock in, but you're saying something funny while pulling my shirt and grabbing my church pants. It's already tight. I can't breathe.
Yeah.
So
I love that you just call them church pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Because
is.
you don't wear them anywhere but church. You
Right.
don't wreck them. You don't
or
get
like
them dirty.
yeah. So I just remember that and just trying to listen to like a message, and then we wouldn't be there for too long, and then they'll send us downstairs to go play and all that stuff. But like I said, going to church really helped. Because God, I felt like God was protecting me no matter what I was going through. Because I didn't really get in, like, nothing bad really happened.
Right.
It was
sort of
just
trouble.
Yeah, so I'm thankful for that. And it just kept me on the straight and narrow.
Wow.
We have because Lee and I both have experienced divorce and then having kids walking through divorce, we talk a lot about those topics on this podcast, and a lot of our people that listen to this podcast have similar experiences.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me to talk to an adult child who's come from that.
That's true.
And see, because we did talk even, we had a therapist on, and we were talking in a past episode about coping mechanisms that kids sometimes take on when they come from a home without a dad there, especially for boys, because statistically, that can be actually a really dangerous situation, right? Like the statistics are not good for kids who grow up without a dad in the home, specifically a boy. But do you feel like maybe basketball or your intensity on some of those things maybe was like a healthy coping mechanism that you developed, even if it was subconscious as a kid, to kind of focus on something that you could control and become good at when your home situation was out of control?
Wow. Just as you're saying it, it just started to click. Everything you said, like
Pam is the best question asking.
Yeah.
So like, she just comes out of her.
Yeah.
I'm nosy. I'm always thinking this.
Yeah. You're like, I just want to know. Give me all the details.
What's your deepest, darkest thought?
What is all your dirty laundry?
Follow all the breadcrumbs,
Right,
you know? But so what you just said in regards to using that aggression and having that like a coping mechanism, I remember because we used to play soccer, and like it was the beginning and I wasn't as good, but I just know like I told myself sometimes skill isn't always important as long as you have the heart for it, you know what I mean? And you're driven and you can just go hard. If you go hard, good things will happen. So just by having that mentality and doing that, I started to get a little bit more better in soccer, and then it just helped me with sports. So I would leave, come home, things would happen at the house, and like my dad would come over and it wouldn't be as pleasant. I'm like, okay, I don't really want to be in this headspace. What helps? And then the next day we had soccer again. I'm like, and I used that, like, I can control this. I can't control that, but I can control this.
Wow.
And then when I transferred over to basketball, I was like, wait, hold up. From grade 8 to grade 9, I grew like 11 inches, 7 inches.
Whoa.
So I was like, wait, now I'm 6'1", 6'2". Wait, hold on.
Amazing, yeah.
I have a little mustache coming in.
And you're like, okay.
And that's over with now.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I got this. So I just used that, and then I just told myself I'm always here no matter what the situation is. So that definitely did help. actually. I used it in a way where it helped me and it benefited me in a way where I was able to be in a good headspace at all times, or try to be. So.
And do you think that was like a result of like your mom helping, obviously God, church, but like I'm just thinking there are a lot of kids that just don't do that naturally.
Right.
It's not like a natural instinct to be like, I can't control this. So in a healthy way, I'm going to do this, right? Like there's a lot of kids that act out or like kind of go buck wild, you know, go crazy. So like, was it just something that was like instinctively in you? Like it just, you were like, that's not the road I want to take. I want to take this road.
Maybe it's genetics, because like how my dad is, he's really like simple. So he wouldn't hear like an argument and be like, what? And then start to argue as well. He just takes his time and waits. Like he likes to take in information first before answering it. He likes to think about it. Okay. You know what I mean? He's not like a reactor. He takes his time. So maybe that plays a role. But I just remember going to school and stuff like that and seeing like people obviously act out, get in trouble and all that stuff. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, is there no mentors or role models in their lives? And then I'm like, wait, I don't even have a mentor or role model. So it's like, okay, now I told myself, now I know what not to do. You know what I mean? So I just knew that I didn't want to do that. So I got to be my own mentor. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I just tried to single out or separate those actions from my own.
Wow.
Because when I started to actually like basketball for real, I'm like, okay, how am I going to make it out of here? I don't have much money. I don't have much resources, but I'm in school and that's something I can control.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is try to get honor roll every semester. What I'm going to try to do is surround myself with people that actually have their head on straight. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, someone's getting in trouble, someone swears at a teacher, that's not really my close friend. He's saying don't do that. Oh wait, hold on, he's smart. Maybe I can learn from him. You know what I mean? So it's just, I didn't have people that wanted to be my friend and just did whatever they wanted. No, you can't do whatever you want around me.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's just how I am. I don't know if I was like, I don't know if I was sensitive or if I was just picky or something like that, but I'm like, I'm okay with being like that. Because as I grow, I know that I'm able to like guard my focus. Because you know when you watch TV or you listen to bad music or you like you're indulging in things you shouldn't be, but like your focus is just as important. And when I realized that, I'm like, okay, I can do this.
Wow.
I can do this.
And that's like hard for kids. How old were you when you were thinking these things? High school?
Yeah.
Right. So like, I feel like there's a lot of kids out there that go through those high school years that just, you know, go off. So to have that self-awareness to be like, no, this is not what I want to do. I want to surround myself with people.
Yeah, I had to.
Like good group of people.
I had to. Just the thought of like, okay, if I'm going to help my family in any way growing up, like my family growing up and my immediate family when I do get older, like the choices start now. And like recently I watched a video, it said that to keep the promises that you made to yourself before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm like, whoa, hold on. I knew I want this. So it's like, you got to make sure you're doing whatever you got to do every single day. That's why now I'm in a routine. I never liked the word routine before because I'm like, I don't want to, at 2 o'clock I have to go. I'm kind of stubborn.
Yeah.
But now it's like, if I continue doing the same thing over and over, doesn't matter if I see results or not, it's going to benefit me in the long run.
Yeah.
I don't have to see it. It's just going to.
Yeah. That's
what real faith is. Like, you know, like seeing what you don't see. Because the eye is always deceiving. So, I don't know. This time now, after graduating,
Are you a preacher on the side? Like, I feel like he's just like preaching to me too. So you didn't add preacher to the mix here. This guy's just
this is the thing.
preaching a sermon.
Like Cole would come home. I'm thinking, okay, Jevon's supposed to be teaching Cole basketball, which obviously he does. I mean, but Cole would come, and Naya and my daughter and I would always make fun of him too, because I would always like, Jevon this, Jevon that. Because Cole would be like, well, Jevon said this, and Jevon said if you work hard, do this, and Jevon said that if you focus on this, and Jevon said if you, like, he always has these like wisdom nuggets that always start with Jevon says. And then so we were like, wow, this is like beyond the skills of basketball. It's like the skills of life.
Amen.
So it was great.
That's what it really is. I get lost sometimes. We're banter and I just go on and on and on. But like, I don't even know I'm doing it sometimes. When I'm teaching basketball, it just turns into life.
Yeah. It's good.
You know, so
it's good, and it's good for a kid like Cole. He just soaks it all up. Like
Facts.
he likes
he
to
remembers.
learn, and it's like if you say it, like he believes and trusts you. Cole doesn't have like a rebellious nature to him, which is I'm thankful for that. Yeah. So he's very like he wants to receive. So he's like, tell me all your wisdom, and I want to apply it. He's not someone that's like, what's this guy talking about? So then it's like a useful, but
he's like a sponge.
Yeah, which is like for now,
which is good for a great teacher. Like you want that mix.
It's like a good combo. But so you started soccer. You start getting into basketball. You realize, I think basketball's my thing.
Yeah.
And then you start working toward you have goals that you're going to meet, because I know you did a lot of. Like you made some high-level teams, you went away to school. Like tell us about that part of your life.
Okay, so I guess that was kind of like a moment in my life where I was like, okay, if I'm going to be serious about this, I have to be in the best position to do that. So I'm like, okay, so should I go to a prep school? Should I stay in Canada? Our school team wasn't as known. So I was like, okay, should I go to prep? Oh my gosh, like I'm here navigating by myself. I have no idea what I'm doing. 14.
Wow.
14, 15.
And at that time, even in that age, 13. The basketball scene in Toronto was pretty.
It was getting really good,
right?
Yeah.
Like there are opportunities, and there are like a lot of conversations about how to get to the next level. I would assume, more than even around here.
Yeah, because we're in Toronto now, and then there's a lot of tournaments happening, and a lot of new teams being created. And like your friends come to you, hey, we have a tryout, let's go here. You want to go here? There's a run over here. Let's go play over here. So we might get noticed. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. But like, are we getting better? Like, I feel like we're just going here and here and just like showing them what we can't do.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, maybe I'm just stubborn in that sense. I'm just like, I'm not going to let someone just see what I can't do and then just judge me off of that. That's not what we're going to do. So I got like a group of guys, and we just trained outside. We used to like just play basketball. There was no open like courts that we're able to go into like here anytime. No way.
Right.
I wish. No. Even though we had it around, we're so young. We're like, we don't know what to do. So after school, we'd stay after school and just like shoot on the nets. We would do like 100 push-ups, and we do like squats and stuff like that. And it was so funny outside looking in. But we actually stayed busy. You know. We didn't just always gossip.
You just kept working for it, even if just whatever you knew how.
Yeah, because I mean, what's the alternative? In my area, my neighborhood, it's just things you shouldn't be into.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like you get distracted quickly, and you chill with the wrong crowd, and then you're hooked.
Yeah.
And then you just feel like you have to keep on that persona and that image so you can have friends. Me, I'm like, I don't care if you don't mess with me or you don't think I'm cool because I said this. No, it's fine. We're good.
Yeah.
Like your path is this way, my path is over here. I didn't say it's a good path, but either way, I just know I don't want to go that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what we had to do was try out for teams, bond in that way, maybe make the team, and then when we go to practice, hold each other accountable. So it's like, I know these guys and we're practicing. I can't take it easy on you because, this is my friend. Like, you know, I want to go as hard and I want you to make mistakes so you can get actually better. So in the game, it's easy. I'm not going to just, it's my friend, I'm not going to really play hard. I'm not going to score on you. I'll just wait for somebody. No, I want to go at you even more than them because I care about you more.
Yeah.
That's where the care word comes in again.
Wow.
You know, so, and that's just life. I learned like as I traveled to America, came back here, handling tough coaches. And now after graduating, just being on my own where I'm just trying to build myself and all that stuff, I realized like all of it makes sense. All of it happened, and I took it that way because it helps me in the like eventually now as I grow as a man to like take everything serious and details matter, and whatever information you have, you give it.
So you went to school in the States.
Yeah.
And how long were you there for? How did you end up deciding that?
So I was in Arkansas for a little bit, and then I went to Texas, and then I got to New York for 1 year, and then I came to Brock.
Okay.
Texas, it was like the toughest one because there's nothing around there. Like there's nothing, like there's just a campus, and then there's houses with like Confederate flags around, and the nearest store is like Walmart 20 minutes away on highway or something like that.
Hey, listen, we love Walmart and we love Target, so I would be there.
The U.S. Walmart, that's
right. It's a different ballgame.
It definitely is.
Different ballgame. Yeah. See what I did there?
But I think that's baseball.
I think that's baseball.
Isn't it?
It's a thought that counts, though. She tried to connect the two.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so
both sports do have
swing,
a ball.
Okay, you know,
we get it.
Next, I'm gonna be making a football reference.
You got to do it. Golfing.
Golf.
Get them all in there. Tennis.
Swing, tennis.
The
backhand,
Jets.
forehand.
The Jets.
The Jets.
Yeah.
The Jets.
I thought the Jets was a basketball team, but you know, here we are.
It's okay. The Nets was a basketball team.
That's my
So maybe
favorite
that's
thing.
where I was going.
Yeah, you were close.
Just take out the J and put it in, and Nets.
There you go. That's perfect. Oh.
Makes sense.
Okay, so you end up at Brock.
Yeah.
And then where does your life go from there? What?
Yeah, so I came to Brock. COVID was happening, so it was a lockout.
So how did that affect university sports? Like if you were out of school on a sports team, are you guys still practicing or are you just like on hiatus? Like
We were still practicing, but it was like really separated.
Okay.
So we had to wear like masks.
Okay. Oof,
And like if we were to go home, we can't go anywhere else. And we have to make sure that we are in contact with our coaches at all times. And if you can't mingle with anybody else.
So you guys were like a little COVID bubble, your team? And then, So you guys probably got close then because you
we had to.
You have no one else really.
I had to. I couldn't go outside and all that stuff. So in Canada, basketball, it was a no-go. But in America, people were still playing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, they're still
they
playing.
didn't even shut down.
Yeah.
I think my friend lives in Florida and she said that they had their kids had an elementary school lockdown for one day during COVID.
No.
That they still went. There was like certain restrictions, but they never were locked out. Then when because she had moved there from here, and when she was telling them that our kids didn't go to school for like months. Over a year, almost at one point. And they were like, what? They didn't even... Because I don't think U.S. follow Canadian news like we follow U.S. news. So they had no idea that the Canadians were really like long-term lockdown. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But...
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Though. America has their own rules.
Especially the South, right?
Yes.
Like, especially Florida. I feel like Florida is its own country. They
That's
just do what they want. They got their guns and no one's going to tell them they're not going to do their thing. You're like, all right.
Oh, yeah. You've been to Florida like recently, no?
Yeah. Well, we had a couple friends move there. So then we go often visit them.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that's not too bad.
And then I heard too, didn't the NBA go to Disney to one of the sports complexes there and they were playing...
In a bubble.
Yeah, I thought I heard that at the Disney sports thing. I don't know if this is true. I don't know, maybe fact check this, but I thought I heard that.
COVID time, 2020.
Yeah.
The whole league was in like a bubble, like they can't leave.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like if there's a game, you go play all in the same gym.
Yes.
No fans.
No.
Okay.
It was like a dark arena with like a lot of just TV screens, people like fans, I guess, right? Just screens, but no one really there. Wow. It was like a quiet gym. We were just playing, and it was as the same atmosphere.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they had to modify it.
Huh. Yeah. But in Canada, it was just like we're gonna wait.
Lockdown.
We're gonna wait.
Everything was
and you were at Brock
down.
when this was happening.
I was at Brock when this was happening, and then waited that year, and then we played the next year. But the whole practicing, we had to wear masks. We had to do those nose
tests.
Yeah.
Almost every week or something like that. We had those. If you got it, you had to stay home for a long time, and I don't know. It was just really messy, but we got through it.
Yeah. Okay. That was a hard time for any young people in school, especially people like you're not just going to school, you're trying to achieve something. Yeah. And it's like a stop to it, right?
You're trying to grab it, but it's like someone's doing this. It's like, can I just, I
want this.
Yeah. Crazy.
It was like a struggle, but.
But you just made it through.
Yeah.
And then you had success on the Brock team. Like your team did really well when you played
we won that year. And then I got hurt. I had surgery. My patellar tendon, it tore. So I had to do a lot of rehab and a lot of praying and a lot of motivational videos. I had to watch a bit. And then just to keep my spirits up.
Yeah.
Because like that injury, it's like your tendon in your knee that connects your quad to like everything else. Wow. So I just had to do a lot of like tedious leg movements, towel, hip adductors, little by little, and then I had to build up to like actual weight, and then my body weight, and then it's like a really slow grind. But because I knew I wanted basketball to be a main focus in the future as a professional, I knew I had to do it every single day, even though I didn't want to.
Yeah.
You know, so because injuries are scary.
You just stayed disciplined too.
Yeah.
So was that during a game you got injured, or in a practice, or?
It must have been gradual because at a certain
point. So was it
point,
like one time? It just all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think it was just micro tears until it was a substantial tear.
Oof.
And then how did you know that something was wrong? Like what? You just
My tolerance is kind of like I just tell myself, "You're good. Just put some dirt on it.
Yeah.
Keep it going." But at a certain point, I'm like, "Hold up. We were in Nipissing playing. I'm like, wait, it doesn't feel like it's
Something's
good.
wrong.
Something's wrong." And then I went back to the school, and then my therapist, I had to go to get checked. And then she said, "Okay, we'll wait a couple of days and hear back." And then when she heard back, it was like, "Oh, well, you have a substantial tear in your patellar tendon, so you can't play for the rest of," I said,
Yeah.
all the work I put in, cool. Learned all the plays, I was supposed to be here in this situation to catch the ball and shoot this, but I'll give it to you for now. Yeah. You didn't really deserve it as much, but hey, you're my teammate. I love you.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But,
so that must have been crushing to hear, like the worst
my
thing to
chest
hear.
caved in, yeah.
Yeah.
Chest caved in.
Oh.
And did they say how long you'd be out with this injury? Did you think, oh my gosh, I might not play? Like,
I was supposed to be out for like at least a good year.
wow.
But I had to like fast track it for like a good 6-7 months. I was just doing everything I had to do, double time. It was hurting, it was painful, but I just had to do my best because I knew I wanted to play as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
And then what does that look like? Like, do you have rehab, and then do you have to do a certain test to make sure you're back ready to play? Like, how did they determine that you can kind of fast track
So
that?
once I started to progress in my phases, so I think I was at like phase 8 or phase 9 or something like that, my therapist, the athletic trainer there, like tests me how I can balance on one leg, jump on one leg, run and stop, run and change directions, touch the rim, touch the backboard. Just a little test to see if like I'm able to handle a substantial game where I'm actually using force all the time. And yeah, so I don't think I passed the first couple of times, but third.
It's not going to stop you.
Yeah.
Just like, all right,
I'm just going to keep on going. I'll figure it out. But
I don't even think I could touch the rim with 2 good knees.
No.
just waft the mesh. Waft the mesh. It moves. You saw that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
yeah. Injuries are kind of like it takes you back a little bit, but like it's not over, you know?
Yeah.
For me, I'd seen it as like a boomerang, so I'm all the way back here. It's okay. I'm just gonna, it's gonna help me in the future. So.
And then so now do you worry that you're at risk of, like, do you feel like that's a weak area now, or is fine? Like once you rehab it, it's fine? Do you have
It depends on the person and how serious you take the treatment and the therapy, but I trust my training. Like I knew exactly what I was doing.
Right.
Because I was taught by the people that actually know what they're doing. So
You weren't worried.
I wasn't worried. Now I can jump, dunk.
You can do all the things.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good now.
You're like, patella injury, what's that?
Yeah, what's that? I was actually Googling it and YouTubing the videos before I had to do the surgery and all that stuff.
Okay.
And that was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have
Don't ever Google anything.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you like watch how they went in and did the incisions?
How they lifted the flap and how they cut and how the knee was just moving all like.
Stop it.
Yeah, I was like.
Yeah, I think I would do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even just hearing you, I feel like, do you have a bowl anywhere that? That's awful.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But you're fully recovered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Playing, coaching.
Better than ever.
Yeah.
Now you got a bionic knee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Steel plate somewhere in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like knock.
Yeah, I'm good now. I'm good.
Wow.
I'm just, I guess, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, literally.
Yeah.
And in the moment, it may feel like the world's over, but It's really not.
Yeah.
It's just perspective, but
Yeah, it's like a little bump in the road.
yeah, but you need those.
Yeah.
Because you need those calluses. Because
Yeah.
like it's not always gonna be smooth sailing.
Yeah, life is not easy.
Like not even just in sports. Like imagine you have a job now.
Yeah.
Like, people you don't really like.
Yeah.
Co-workers, bosses.
Yeah.
You're gonna just fold because you weren't in that situation before. You won't know what to do.
Yeah.
Now you do.
Yeah.
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 Or you've been through worse.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is nothing. This is
Right.
child's play.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Yeah.
know? So
And your whole life, it hadn't been easy up until that point. There'd been a lot of you gained a lot of grit
yeah.
in your younger years that probably led you to,
Yeah.
be able to withstand something like that.
Yeah. So if I didn't go through that, surgery, injury, oh my gosh, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not strong enough mentally to be
Yeah.
able to get
Yeah.
over the hump.
Because that does happen to
Yeah.
people all
Yeah.
the time,
All the
right?
time.
Even athletes, they have a surgery and then they just kind of give up on themselves and their dream. And
Yeah. Almost everyone I know.
Yeah.
And did you feel like having a team, like being part of a team when you're going through that was helpful, or did you kind of feel like almost you get left behind? Is it helpful, or are they just kind of like, oh, get well soon, bud, and then they're off to their own thing and you're like, guys, wait for me?
Ladies and gentlemen, Pam, with
Yeah.
the amazing question.
Right? I know.
That was great. It was more of the second one because I actually felt left behind. Even though I was coming to the practices and I was, come on guys, like I'm trying to instill some information because I see you guys, and
They're
then
like,
it's like,
Tiny Tim, just go over
yeah,
there.
it's like, yeah, I hear you.
Oh.
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, first of all, if I was okay, if I was playing well,
I'm better than all y'all.
I would do my thing. But at the same time, like I have to understand my position. I'm here to help now.
Yeah, because you're probably like on
I'm a voice.
crutches or
Yeah,
whatever.
I was on crutches, so I was just like a voice. I was trying to, because I cared so much. Like I tried to help the coach, I tried to help my teammate, I tried to, but I feel like, okay, you guys are all doing it yourself, but I'm just here like, woohoo, like like a little cheerleader. Like,
Yeah.
So, but
They should have got you pom-poms.
Did they give you the
I would've-
bucket?
They should have put pom-poms on your crutches. I mean,
I would have cried.
yeah.
That might have been too much. That
Yeah,
might have
I would
broke
have
him
cried. I would
over
have
the
cried.
edge.
I was already hurting with the pom-poms came out.
Yeah.
They threw those out. I would have said, yep.
Yeah. I would love to know what you have to share about teams, because my kids never played really on a team. My daughter does swimming, which is a very individualized sport for the most part.
Okay.
Then Cole just started playing on a team. And they always tell you as parents, like, oh, get your kid in sports and team, and that's such a good environment. And then you learn that it's not as the ideal of what a team would be. It's not always like that. And it can be actually sometimes like a challenge. So what do you think, why do you think that happens in team dynamics? Is it the competitiveness is too much, people can't put that aside? And then what do you think, how if you're on a team, how do you change that dynamic where you help to foster a true team spirit as opposed to just infighting and backbiting and what happens in a lot of teams?
Like everyone just climbing to the top to get push people aside.
Because you are you're on a team, but you are competing with each other in a way for scholarships, for like chances, for scouts, whatever.
Minutes
right?
to play.
Yeah.
So, to that question, it's more like you got to be able to adjust. You know, because like when you get on a team, yes, put your kids in sports for sure. But it's like, it's not what you expected. It's not like how you see in the movies where it's like everything's gonna go well. Oh, the last shot, oh, we won, good job. No, it's the early mornings. It's being able to be coachable, hearing criticism, and like instead of like feeling like you're alone, your teammates should be like lifting you up, right? But that's not always the case. So like, being on a team is basically learning how to have the tough conversations. So if things aren't going well on your team, being able to, I gotta talk to you for a second. This is what's bothering me, and this is what you're doing consistently, and I really feel like we're gonna continue to clash, and the team is not gonna go to where we want it to go unless we address this from now. But some kids, they don't wanna do that because they don't wanna seem as not cool or, what are you talking about again? Like, you know what I mean? And if more kids were willing to do that on a team cohesively, the culture would be strong. And then that's how you become a good team. That's to become a good player. That's to become a good person. But if you were to be a person, because a lot of kids, they get in trouble or they have difficulties because they go through things, it's tough, they feel alone.
Right.
They feel alone.
Yeah.
They feel alone. So it's like how do you get better? How do you want to continue playing the sport if every day or every other day you feel like you're in a situation where you're just not comfortable?
Yeah.
You know?
So to the kid watching that, like, you know, whether it's basketball, school in general, a job where they feel like, you know, they're competing with their teammates, or they're feeling like, you know, the kid that doesn't have a lot of friends. I know you're saying, like, you know, on a teammate, approach that kid, but how would you even can you tell a kid, like, can you teach them how to build self-confidence? Is it something that's just like ingrained in them? For you, I feel like it was just in you somehow, like by what you're saying, but for the kid that it might not come as easy or as naturally, like, what would you say to them to be like, this can help you shape your job, your school, your team sports? Like, what would you say to that kid that's just struggling to be like, I can't get along with this kid, help me?
If you love the sport enough, you'll get better at it. You'll focus on that because that's something you can control.
Yeah.
Some people you can't really talk to. It's like talking to a wall. And sometimes things don't get better. You know what I mean? So all you gotta do is focus on what you gotta do and make sure that you excel in that sport.
Right.
So when that person or that situation does come up, it's like, who's really in the wrong? You know what I mean? It's not like you're focused on the issue of you just arguing. It's like you're just focusing on yourself. So doing that means you're able to adjust and not let that bother you. So now if this person is bothering you, it's like I'm going to compete to take your spot, and like now you're in my rear view. You know what I mean? So like even if someone's not really able to talk and be confrontational, it's okay. Just do your thing, and then hopefully your talent shows and your skill shows, and you just keep moving forward. Like sometimes it's not always like a specific word to tell someone, make sure you say this and then everything will be better. It's not. In life, you got to keep going and do what you can, not what you can.
And it's like you have to be consistent in what you can bring, because sometimes there isn't anything you can say to somebody else to motivate them.
No, but some people are just stuck in their ways. Like you focus on what you got to do instead of trying to practice and, well, he's bothering me, practicing. No, erase that. Do what you got to do, excel, so the coach trusts you more. And now you're in the position where it's like, okay, well, I need this person. You know what I mean?
And if they get left behind, that's on them, right?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm running forward, let's run side by side, but if you don't want to, I'm
see you in the dirt.
You totally,
That's
see you in the dirt. I'm going to the finish line.
That's all it is.
Right.
That's all it is. So.
Can we like somehow like set up a summer camp where Jevon can come and like just like a boot camp maybe almost where you can come and
boot
just
camp?
like
I'm for it.
Okay, listen. I feel like there's more and more kids nowadays that you see them, and you know, we're living in a generation, I feel like, where gentle parenting is very like the common approach, like let's be gentle and our children can and I'm like, heck no,
it's gonna hurt them more
Yeah.
than you think it's helping.
So we just need a good old Jevon boot camp.
You need someone to tell them what it really is and how they approach certain things isn't because like the gentle parenting and the gentle touch all the time is not gonna show them like what they need when they're by themselves at school, because you can't follow them to school. And
Really?
how kids
Sometimes I do.
kids are
I wasn't supposed to be doing really?
Sometimes I sit in the parking lot, you know, just like what? Just kidding.
No, I know. Kids can be cruel though, and kids can just come from different backgrounds that just like irritate your soul. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't let that affect you. But it's going to affect you if you get that gentle parenting. It's like you don't know how to react, because like you always have someone taking care of you and shading you from like all the bad stuff. And,
It's like 26 going on like 50, but not in a bad way.
It's okay.
Like you just have an old soul about you.
Oh yeah, I try.
You know, I say all the time, I'm like, you know, kids make bad decisions sometimes until they're 25 because their brains aren't fully developed, right?
There you go.
That's true.
Your brain's only been really developed for a year yet.
Yeah.
He's got so much wisdom.
Yeah. Maybe it's being the youngest. And just having to like being around older kids too is part of it. I feel like there's so many factors that determine how people are. That's so interesting to me. Well, why people, like, I think we've talked about this before, but you can see, like, I know I know somebody I'm thinking in my mind who's had a rough childhood, and their adult life is evidence of that. Like just they cannot overcome it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when they get into a situation, they do reference, well, it's hard because this and that happened. And it's like part of me, I'm like, I feel for you. But then I know one of my really close friends, she had a horrible, would make you cry if you heard her life story. And she's like the most successful, like driven, hardworking, caring. She's a great wife. She's got kids. She's an amazing mom. And you're just like, what happened? What was the difference between the two people? I find that so fascinating.
Yeah.
That's gotta be.
It's the mind. Yeah. It's the mind. It's like some people, you got two different people. You got one person, it's like, I had a tough childhood, and and like I can use that every single time as an excuse, like because I went through this is why I don't know this. I didn't get to go to here, and that's why, like, my mom, my parents, like, I didn't, just a lot of excuses. But another person who had a worse childhood, worse, like just like unbearable, where it's like no food, abuse, like, a lot of different things. And when they grew up, it's like they use that. It's like, I already been through the worst. I'm going to use that as fuel to be as the best version of myself as possible. You know what I mean? So it's like weak-minded, strong-minded. Bad things happen, worse things happen, but I'm going to use that to propel myself. Instead of, excuses. This is why I can't do this. Who would want to be around that kind of person? It's like, I have a problem right now. We all have problems. If we were to put our problems in like a hat, once we look in the hat and see everyone else's problem in the world, it's like, let me take my problem back, because it's not as serious.
Totally.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like,
it's a mindset.
It's tough. Because like,
and you can have two people in the same family
that
lived the same experience, and one is like here, and one is here, and so like it really is that constant like drive and pushing yourself and being the best version of yourself, and like having to like really say that to yourself over and over and over again, because there's people that one kid grows up to be like successful, married, kids, successful business person, let's just say, and then the other one is like doing drugs in the back corner, and they'll be like, oh well, my childhood, but they have the same experience. And so it really is a mind. I love that you said that. It's got to be a mindset thing.
Yeah,
it is. That's why the gentle parenting is not going to work. It's either you put your foot down, like, we are not friends. I'm here to teach you and guide you, to show you that, like, if you don't listen to me, you will end up somewhere in a ditch. I need you to lock in and be mindful of yourself and your awareness and your surroundings.
Do you feel like your mom did a good job with that? Like, being a single mom with all these kids, like, where would your mom fall into like this?
Just instilling the fact that how she carries herself, it just emulates the way we carry ourselves.
Wow.
Like, it's just more of like what she does. How do I say it? It's like what I do, I need you to see what I do, so you can act in that manner.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Example,
lead by example. Like, so it wasn't more like words all the time. It was just like, I see how she's moving, okay, I'm gonna do that as well, because it's working for her. If it works for her, why am I gonna, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So
maybe we need to have Jevon's mom on a parenting podcast.
Oh,
like,
how did you raise?
She won't stop talking.
But that's perfect. That's what we like around here.
We'll do like a 4-part series.
That's right.
How
do you parent?
That'd be good.
Well, honestly, I'm just like sitting. Obviously, this is our first time meeting, and I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm just like, man, like, I pray. I can only hope and pray that my kids, and especially son, like, I'm just thinking boy for boy. It literally makes me teary eyed. But like, that at 26 years old, he's sitting here with his head on his shoulders after overcoming a lot in your life, and you're just, I don't know. I can't even, how do I even describe him? You need to be in the room right now, guys. You just like, it's just beautiful.
I appreciate that. It didn't come overnight though. You know what I mean? It was just over a period of time where I figured out, like, I have no other choice. You know what I mean? Instead of just making excuses all the time. Because like, anyone could find an excuse anywhere. You can pull it out of your anywhere. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, either way, it's not gonna help. My situation is still gonna be the same situation. So it's like, I rather change it by looking forward instead of looking back. So that's really what it is, honestly.
He's gonna make a great husband one day. Is this guy single?
I prayed.
Are we single? Are we? Can we start like taking your numbers here?
Yeah, I am.
He's single, or what? Can we start taking numbers?
Flash it on the screen.
That's right. Call this number.
Follow my Instagram. It's right here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But it's true. Like I'm just, I just think oftentimes, especially in our situation, like being hurt and like being like, I don't like the word wounded, but like, betrayed by our exes or whatever. Sometimes it is hard to like look at, men and worry for our own kids. Like, are they going to end up in a situation where they end up divorced or don't marry the right person? But like, you're sitting here and I'm like, there are good guys out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it does, I do think that, especially because it probably would be relevant to our viewership, but you do worry as a mom, a single mom, raising boys, that you just wonder, how can that work? Like, God's design for the family was a mother and a father raising their child together. Yeah. Like, how does it work when one integral piece is missing? And then is your son going to be okay, right? Like, will he be able to still succeed as a man missing that piece? And I mean, I think part of it, although I don't know, maybe you said you didn't have a lot of mentors, but even I appreciate your role in my son's life for that, because you're always looking to say, because it's not a kid's choice. If you grow up with a parent who, maybe has some struggles of their own, or they're not able to be the kind of present dad or even mom that your child needs, the kid has no control of that. That's just what you're born into. Yeah. But if you can try and position people in their life to be like, well, see, here's another way, so that your son doesn't know the only thing he knows is the thing that's maybe unhealthy, right? And to be like, well, no, here's another way. Like, do you feel like you, even maybe as you got older, through coaches, or were there other people that you looked to and you said, this is how I want to be? Because if you don't have a dad in your home every day, I would imagine as a boy, are you wondering, like, how am I going to know how to be a man when I don't have that example every day? Then do you kind of latch on to somebody that you do see and respect?
Wow, that's a great question. I mean, growing up, going to church, we had like these youth groups, right?
Right.
And you see how there's like pastors there, and there's volunteers that come and they help. I just remember, I think, being in middle school, and I think it was in Rexdale Alliance. There was like high school kids that would come and just help out and volunteer, and just how they acted and how they were and their demeanor was different from the high school kids that I knew where I'm from. So it's like,
interesting.
It's like the Christian way, the Christian values, like I can just see it in them. It wasn't like specific, it was just how they brought themselves, how they did certain things, how they said certain things. Like, like if there was like a tough situation where like someone was getting in trouble, they wouldn't lash out in emotion. They would be like, I see what you're trying to do there, but like in this scenario, it doesn't really work. Like they just had a different touch. Yeah. So I was like, wait, hold on. I thought, because growing up is like, say what you say, and then just, it's more aggressive. Yeah. You know what I mean? My mom and having just like the boys, it's like, I felt like I didn't know how to balance it. I didn't know how to balance it at all. Honestly, it's either I'm being too sensitive, or I'm just having to plead my case all the time, or just more reactive.
Right.
But like when I went to these youth groups and seeing mentors in regards to that, I didn't really get to see them all the time because I couldn't really travel all the time there. But when I did see it, I was like, wow, maybe I can take a page out of that book, put it in my back pocket. Yeah. Oh, I can see this. And then there was one youth worker. His name was Scott Veals. I still talk to this day. He used to like come and help us and drive us here, drive us there. And I was like, as he speaks to us and as he interacts with us, it's more like, hold on, this is kind of like a father figure. But like, obviously he has his own kids, but like I can see the values that I would want to see in myself.
Yeah.
I would want to see that in myself. So just having my mom teach us and parent us was nice, but it would have been better to have like another male role model in the house, so I can see how to treat a woman, how to go about taking criticism. Because like growing up, it was tough for me to take criticism. I'm like, wait, so what am I doing wrong? Like I thought I was doing it right. Like, you know, no one told me how, like I'm getting upset, I'm getting emotional.
Almost defensive,
Defensive. So instead of like, if I had a dad there, he would have showed me how to like, wait, no, understand that this person is correcting you because they see highly of you. They see more. They're holding to a standard. Instead of if they didn't correct you, they would think that that's all that there was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you're almost like not worth their time.
Yeah. So it's a good thing when you get criticism.
Yeah.
So now I'm learning this in the last 2 years being at Brock, my coach. Yeah, so for sure, growing up as a child, it would be better to have 2. But if there's only 1, that's fine too. But just finding the balance in regards to like, as a mom, okay, I see you're upset right now. At the same time, like just take a breath, take a second, and just understand that I'm here for you. I love you, and this is only gonna make you better. You know what I mean? Just having conversation.
Yeah.
My mom is loving and all that stuff, and she cares. She'll give her last dollar to you, even though she'll go without always, whatever. She won't eat if we get food, but it's like she wasn't as communicative in regards to like, I'm doing this because of this, and it wasn't like always expressed. I can probably feel it, but hearing it is a different thing. I want to hear it, you know. So
I have something I was just wondering. Do you feel like part of your drive to succeed in basketball or all things in life, is there a part of you deep down that wants to prove maybe to your dad or just to yourself or just to fight a statistic to say, I'm gonna be something even though I was at a disadvantage from the start?
100%.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Because I know the statistics where I'm from and what usually happens with boys or kids like me, and it's not always as enlightening to hear. So I just knew that I didn't want to be a part of that group or a part of that number and a part of that population. No. I'm just like, I'm here for a reason. I'm on this earth for a reason. So why am I gonna just go with the crowd because everyone's going this way? No. Maybe that's where the stubborn part came from. I'm just like, I'm not gonna do that. And I don't care if you don't like it. You know what I mean? So I just use that in everything that I do now. So
it was like motivation for you to push you.
Yeah.
In
it's
the
like,
opposite direction.
Exactly. So if you're genuine and you want to be around me, we're here and it's fine, and we're gonna learn from each other. Iron sharpening iron. But if you're just trying to just like be there and be negative or show me things that like aren't really gonna help us grow. Notice how I say us. It's not just like individuals. Us now, because I'm taking my time out of my day to be a part of what you're trying to do, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So if like if we want to become strong men to hold ourselves to a certain standard, why are we gonna just waste days? You know how much days we have left? You know what I mean? It's obviously our days are numbered, right? So I just had that thought growing up.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah.
It kind of pushes you.
Yeah.
I did notice, I feel like, again, my nosiness, I feel like one of the Brock basketball games that I brought Cole to watch, did I see you, like one of your teammates, like giving you his Bible to hold on to and you held during the game? Is that something you guys did as a team? Like, did some of you do like a Bible study together or things to kind of create that like standard, like these are the men we want to be, or use a Bible as a guide? Is that something you guys did together?
Yeah, so it's funny. Last year, before games, I think I would bring like a little note. I would write like a scripture. So when we're in the huddle before the game starts, I would read out the scripture. And then I would just tell us, like, I'll give us like a little motivational, like upbeat talk in regards to like what the scripture meant and how it's going to help us with this game today. No matter what you went through in the morning, like, you know, right now it's 6 o'clock and we have a job to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we just like try to use that as encouragement all the time. And then I told the rest of like the new guys coming in, and then my friend Jalen, he brings his Bible as well. He does the same thing. He brings the whole book though. He's going a step further. I love it.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep building. Now next time bring a whole sermon. Afterwards, he brings his book towards me. He tells me to hold on to it because he trusts me. So I guess just being there for them every home game, I try to show up, and it helps him or them be a cohesive unit in a sense. Yeah. So it started last year and it continued this year. So like, yeah, he gives me his Bible and I'll just be there for support. Yeah.
Being a leader off the court, if that's an example of it, right?
Yeah,
like,
I can see that.
Both on and off the court. You got to live your life to like an integrity standard.
Yeah.
Whether you're playing or whether you're on the bench because you're injured.
Yeah, trust me. Oh no.
Yeah.
Brings me back.
So what's next for Jevon? Are you gonna?
Well, we're gonna set him up on a date. That's what's next. But
Right.
yes.
We'll be taking in our DMs. We'll be going through. Maybe we'll have a dating episode. Lily's all about that. She wants to have a dating show of her own.
True.
She's always
I'm trying to set Pam up. Next is gonna be
this
you.
This would work better in your favor than
The background music.
I'm a willing participant. You need a willing participant.
Yeah, willing or unwilling. That's the way I like to roll.
The problem is, the last time you said that on podcast episodes, a couple of the DMs that came in, I was like, this is why.
Yeah, there's a couple DMs that rolled in.
You're like, why would you ever message that?
Yeah.
What?
It's true.
That's no.
So dating app aside, it's true. What is next for you? Where are you at?
I'm in a routine right now, I guess. I train myself. I train basketball clients.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I stay in contact with like different agents and like teams, and I just keep reaching out to stir the pot a little bit because I know I did enough at my time here at Brock to get some kind of contract. You know what I mean? So
that's kind of where you're trying to get right now?
Yeah. I'm just trying to get a professional contract in the meantime. But as I'm waiting, I'm tapping into my music side a little bit.
Okay.
I just learned how to play guitar a little bit. I learned a couple songs. I'm not really like the best, but like I'm trying to.
You learn quick.
Yo, really? I was up all night.
Yeah,
I'm a YouTube bandit.
It doesn't surprise me.
I'm a YouTube bandit. Yeah.
Are you just teaching yourself? Okay.
Like 5 hours on end. Like just, I have to get it right. Oh, it worked. Okay. When we were young, we used to like always like practice Chris Brown songs and all that stuff, and Michael Jackson. There was a lot of moonwalking in the house. There wasn't much space to moonwalk, but we were moonwalking into the walls and
like
stuff.
Putting on concerts for your mom.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. We used to have
boys,
this like we used to have like a little tape recorder, or a camera recorder, or whatever it's called, and we used to like just dance and I don't know, a bunch of things. It's very
I want to
embarrassing.
be in your house with the dancing. Like my dancing skills, you know, just like
I can't dance.
Non-existent.
No, I can barely clap at church. I have to concentrate to be like.
Make sure you're on the beat.
Sometimes my kids be like, Mom. I'm like, oh, like I don't even notice. My brain goes. I'm like that person that's so annoying.
That's
so
right.
Like when I go to weddings, I'll just like wait till everyone's had a few drinks before I like venture on the dance floor. So like I need no one to remember this.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, maybe we can like clear the air and Jevon can teach her some dance moves.
Oh man, it's gonna
be clear the space over there.
I mean, we could definitely try, but you have to move everything because I'm like a wild dancer.
I feel like it's like you have it or you don't. It's like you have rhythm. I don't know that you can teach that to people. Like you could teach steps to people, but it still's gonna look bad.
It's true. Yeah. I've got no rhythm.
No, same.
I think in regards to that, like everyone has rhythm, but like what people try to do is like if you're not used to dancing, they try to choreograph a dance instead of just starting from the beginning. Just find it first. Hear what you're hearing. You know what I mean?
Feel the music.
You know what I mean? Feel the music.
Feel it, man. We gotta feel it.
You know what I mean? You have to feel it. Like, you have to, I don't know. There's a connection with music. Some people have, some people don't.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're here with it. Yeah. Sometimes you're here with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just depends on the person.
But I feel like you gotta have a certain swag too, because if you feel, I feel like if I feel the music and you feel the music, it's like really different. Like I feel like you look cool to be like,
what are you doing?
What? Yeah, someone needs to come get her.
Somebody get her off the floor.
It's like a panic attack. What's going on?
My kids will just die of embarrassment.
That's true. But that's okay, so would mine. They'd be like, Mom, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of here, Mom, please. And I like joke, I'm like, I've got the moves. Yeah. And they're like, Mom, can you stop, please?
Like, no, you don't.
I just feel like, you know, I'm actually probably the person that actually thinks that I can dance, and then your guys are all looking there going, God, somebody get her off the floor. Somebody get her off the floor.
Check, please.
Yeah.
Check, please.
Please.
I feel like we're all good at different things. I can accept my shortcomings. I know I'm not going to be the dancer in the group. I'll support people, but I'm not going to be the one. I'll just be like,
yeah. Good job. I know. I see what you're doing. Whoa, yes.
Yeah.
Pop and lock.
Exactly.
Pop and lock.
Listen, I think we should like end the episode and do the moonwalk over there and see who's better.
I mean, we can definitely try.
Yeah,
I bet you
guys can have a moonwalk off.
We'll have a moonwalk off. I wonder who will be better.
I wonder.
It depends whose socks is the most slippery.
That's right. That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
Pam, can you please wash your floors before we start?
Put a little oil there.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, you're over
Slip
here.
and slide.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been fun.
Yeah, this has been fun. It's been great to get to know you a little better and hear a little about your story firsthand.
Firsthand, yeah.
Instead of I just hear everything through Cole.
I didn't start off in a good position.
Yeah.
But I just found a way to just find peace in that. You know, and then surround myself with people that I knew I could trust.
Yeah.
Wow.
Smart.
That's it. Just have a plan and have sub goals.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, and your community is so important. The people you choose to spend your time with. I tell my kids that all the time.
That's so
like,
important.
Your friends
Influence.
matter. It's better to have less good quality people
Friends,
than more people that are just
Loose cannons.
Yeah.
Sorry to say.
Yeah.
Because it can really affect your own growth. You can really be on the same path, but if you're around people that don't care about their path, doesn't matter how strong you are, you'll fall into it.
Yeah.
Subconsciously.
Yeah. It's true.
I feel like this whole episode, he just gave us the sunny side of everything.
I know. It's true.
It's just
We
like
don't even have to
little
round it out.
tidbits.
It's just
Wow.
So we know what we've learned is you could be a professional athlete, or you could be a pastor, or you could be a motivational speaker.
Yeah, you could be all of them. You wear all the hats. And a dancer, dance instructor,
boot camp. Yeah. So your future's bright.
Your future is
list
bright.
of potential job opportunities is
Guys, it's been fun. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.